Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Freeman Motorsports for the Blue-Green Vacations Duels at Daytona. The field is about to be set for Sunday's Daytona 500, the 65th running of the Duels and the 65th running of the 500. The first points of the 2023 championship season will be dealt out tonight to the top 10 finishers, and there are two drivers that are unfortunately going to have their Daytona 500 efforts cut short here tonight. We're going to sort it all out here on Freeman Motorsports. Thanks for tuning in once again. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can let me know in the chat who your picks are to win. We got the live scoring and timing to my left. 21 cars in each of the duels here tonight. And we're going to go through your starting lineup as duel number 1 is going to be rolling off here pretty soon. Yeah, right now your starting lineup, your pole sitter for the Daytona 500, as long as he doesn't have any issues tonight. Alex Bowman will start out front in duel number 1 to his outside on row 1. His teammate, William Byron. On row 2, Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney, the Penske teammates. And then last year's rookie, Harrison Burton, who had a pretty solid run in qualifying. He's trying to follow that up with some momentum here in the duels. He's going to start 5th in duel number 1. Then Bubba Wallace, who came up 2nd, not once, but twice in the Daytona 500. He is one of the favorites here this weekend. In row 4, Chris Buescher, who won his duel last year, and his outside, Ross Chastain. In row 5, Kevin Harvick in his last ever Speed Weeks, at least as far as we know. And then the rookie, Ty Gibbs in the 54 machine, sponsored by Monster Energy and Interstate Batteries to his outside. In row 6, Christopher Bell. And 7-time champion Jimmie Johnson, who locked his way into the big dance last night during qualifying off of raw speed. Then behind him in row 7, Michael McDowell, the 2021 Daytona 500 champion, and Eric Jones. Then in row 8, one of the open cars trying to waste their way in on speed tonight, Zane Smith, and his outside, A.J. Allmendinger. In row 9, another Daytona 500 champion, Austin Dillon, and Ricky Stenhouse. In row 10, Cody Ware and Ty Dillon, and rounding out your field is Chandler Smith, who had issues in qualifying last night. In terms of the open cars in duel number 1, it's Zane Smith and Chandler Smith that will be competing for that final spot based on where they finish tonight. If Zane Smith finishes ahead of Jimmie Johnson and Chandler Smith, then he'll be in the Daytona 500. If Chandler Smith finishes ahead of Zane Smith and Jimmie Johnson, then he'll be in the Daytona 500. But if Jimmie Johnson finishes ahead of both Zane Smith and Chandler Smith, then Zane Smith will get the default spot based on speed in last night's qualifying attempt. Thanks to everybody watching here tonight. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks if you were tuned in last night for the qualifying live stream. We've already gained just over 60 subscribers already during these speed weeks, so I really appreciate it, everybody watching. And just like that, the command to start engines here in duel number 1 will be getting underway here pretty soon. Duel number 2, if you're wondering how long these usually take, each duel takes usually just about an hour, a little longer, about an hour 15 without cautions. So duel number 2 will probably start just about 9 o'clock. And weather has been a factor in years past during these duels, but tonight it is clear, no clouds in the area, so we should be good in terms of precipitation. Mark your picks are the 22 and the 17 for this first heat race. Well, yeah, they were right there. They were right there in the mix for it at the end of last year's duels. But we know what happened there. Joey Logano, one of the first drivers to crash the next-gen car. Got 30 people watching. We only got 9 likes, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. I appreciate it. And this is starting off the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season strong. The first points given out tonight. The person who wins this duel does not get a playoff spot guaranteed, but they do get 10 playoff points, or not playoff points, just regular points. Then second will get 9, third will get 8, fourth will get 6th, all the way down to 10th will get just 1. Everybody else gets nothing. So that is the points breakdown, and these points do matter. Last year, the difference between Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr., the cut line, 3 points. If Martin Truex Jr. would have finished 3 spots higher in his dual race, that would have been the difference, and he would have been in the playoffs instead of Ryan Blaney. So every position matters. You want to get yourself as far ahead of the field as you can, as early on as you can. But thanks to everybody tuning in once again. But yeah, we are going to put a poll. Who wins at Daytona? Or who wins Duel 1, I should say. You can comment in the chat who your pick is to win this first duel. Got some heavy hitters. Alex Bowman, the fastest car in qualifying. We'll put him up as an option. And we'll put Joey Logano, who's always fast at the plate tracks. Chris Buescher, because he won this race last year. And other. I'll just put other, and you can comment your pick if it's not one of those 3 in the chat. Woo. Let's see if maybe we can get up to 3,250 subscribers tonight. I think that's a pretty good goal. 3,250 subscribers. Got that Coke commercial music going. You know what? And guys, tonight we might be eating on the live stream. Might end up doing some Uber Eats in between the duels. So yeah, duel number 1 will probably be getting underway here pretty shortly. Pretty decent audience there for the duels tonight. Yeah, me personally, the guys that I'm going to be watching in this duel, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Harrison Burton, those Fords last year in the duels. Now, the drivers played things really safe last year in the duels, if you recall, due to the next-gen part shortage. Nobody really wanted to be tearing up their cars because not everybody even had a backup car. So things were really safe last year. We only saw 1 incident in the duels, and only 1 driver even had to go to a backup car. So I think this year there's going to be a little bit more chaos. But still, I don't think we're going to see any big incidents here tonight. I think we're going to be pretty straight, pretty organized. A lot of it's going to come down to your pit road strategy. Who can get on and off pit road smoothly. We'll see probably green flag pit stops in both of the duels tonight. So who can negotiate getting on and off a pit road the best? That'll probably play a factor in who ends up winning the duel tonight. There we got 1 new sub already. J. Merrick, are you showing the live feed? Yeah, we have the live timing and scoring. Dustin Witt, has the racing started yet? Nope, not yet. The drivers are all in their cars, though. I believe the command start engines will probably be coming here shortly. Oh, Tyler L., I am pumped. I am pumped for these duels tonight. Really, the true kickoff of the season. And if anybody is out there watching, I really appreciate it if you do drop a like, because tonight, similar to when we streamed the Busch Clash, there are quite a few of bots out there that are streaming the race, the actual broadcast, illegally. And so those tend to get promoted before this. So the likes kind of help even out that battle a little bit more. So appreciate it if you drop a like. Already up to over 50 viewers here. Appreciate it. Just working out some little kinks here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hold on 1 moment. And there we go. Okay, here we have the command to start engines. Cool, Tyler. Yeah, tonight we're just rocking a classic button down. I mean, I kind of have to wear one of these every day. And we were out late this afternoon, so I didn't have time to change. But we just threw on the classic Larson hat. That was a 500 worthy command. Honestly, I didn't even notice it there for a second. Now I gotta look at that command again. I love it when you have a good command to start engines. Okay, that was actually an amazing command to start engines. If you can find a clip of that on YouTube, definitely go find that clip of that command to start engines. That was amazing. But so the first 10 points of the season are going to be being dealt out tonight to the drivers in these duels. And I think, there's an opportunity here. You don't want to push the issue too hard because really all this is where you're going to start on Sunday. A couple points are given out, but you don't want to risk tearing up your primary car most likely. It's really just starting to feel out the car in the draft because these guys don't have practice anymore during speed weeks. This is the first time these guys are going to be running in a pack in 2023. So a lot of guys just kind of feel out their car, seeing how good it is in the pack. And then also some drivers that have never even raced in the next-gen car before had a super speedway, like Zane Smith, for instance, in this heat race. Chandler Smith, really all the open cars like Austin Hill and Connor Daly in the next one. And Travis Pastrana, actually all three of those guys have no experience in a super speedway car. Mark, all the plans go out the window when the flag drops. I do agree with that, but at the same time, in these duels, I mean, if you remember last year, the Fords, they were just so in sync working together. They were able to get off and on. They're able to get off and on, on and off a pit road smoothly. And even though there were only about 5 or 6 Fords in each duel last year compared to 10 to 15 Chevrolets, the Fords were able to gap the Chevrolets by about 7 or 8 seconds on the racetrack, and we saw that in qualifying. I would say, generally speaking, if you take out the Hendrick Chevrolets, the Fords in general were faster than the Chevrolets when it came to just going in a straight line around the racetrack. That's probably just some sort of aerodynamic difference because the noses are different on these cars. That's really the only thing that is different between manufacturers. Yeah, thanks to everybody watching so far. If you're wondering, I know it's still early in the season, but this stream is already the 9th biggest stream of the year. Number 9 on the board. Qualifying last night was number 1 so far this year. So, I don't know, maybe we'll be able to dethrone qualifying here tonight. And if you're just tuning in and you're like, I like what this guy's saying, we'll be able to hear more of me throughout this entire weekend. We'll be live tomorrow for the Truck Series race. We'll be live on Saturday for ARCA and Xfinity, and of course, live on Sunday for the Daytona 500. And we might even be live for practice or qualifying for one of the other series here or there if I have the time to do it and if my voice is still operating. Braxton Hall, my favorite schemes this weekend. Okay, I'll tell you one that it's not. The Bubba Wallace McDonald's scheme. Oh, they messed that car up so bad. Just that gray base. Not for me. That Ally scheme looks really solid. At first, I didn't like it when I first saw the renders, but under the lights, that 48 looks solid. The 84, the Johnson, the Carvana machine looks really nice. I mean, I am a Larson fan, so there is some bias here. The 5 Hendrick cars scheme, bear with me now. Under the lights at night, that scheme looks nice. But I will admit the Hendrick car scheme, I don't love it. I feel like it's starting to get a little old, especially on the next gen car with the number moved. Not the greatest. I think the 77 Ferris machine for Ty Dillon, I think that's actually pretty sharp. And then, of course, the 43 Guns N' Roses machine, if you're a rock fan at all. I don't know how you can't have some appreciation for that scheme Eric Jones is running tonight. Yeah, Brian Chastain. I'd imagine Bowman, you think he's going to bail out right away? I think Bowman will probably run around at the front as long as he can without having to get too competitive, but as soon as he gets shuffled from the lead, I would imagine, he's probably just gonna bail out. Yeah, I'd agree with you, Braxton. Under the lights, especially at Daytona, the lighting's so good at Daytona. Oh, they look beautiful. Beautiful. And the pavement, the tarmac, all black. It looks great. Looks amazing. Fantastic. Oh, another great car. The Kyle Busch 3 scheme, that thing looks mean. That thing looks sharp. Yeah, those are some of my favorite schemes, I'd say, so far this weekend, at least in the Cup Series. Hey, we're up to 20 likes, guys. I appreciate it, but we got 55 people watching. Let's get it up to 30 likes. Now we got 65 people watching, and I appreciate it. Hit that like button and subscribe. We're trying to get to 3,250 subscribers. We are currently just 13 subscribers away from 3,250. Oh boy, I'm excited. Oh, it's like you get that chill down inside you. Oops. You get that chill down inside of you when it comes to the super speedway racing. So much chaos, so much energy. Oh my gosh, it's unmatched. Randy, no, I can do this because I'm unlike some of the other streams. I'm not showing the actual. I'm not showing the actual race. Those streams will all get taken down eventually. Maybe not tonight, but they'll all get taken down. But this is, yeah, this stream won't get taken down for anything because, I mean, it's not like I'm showing something I'm not supposed to be. But yeah, it is tough to compete because there are quite a few streams out there that are just showing the broadcast, which they'll all get taken down eventually, like I said. But anyways, back to the starting lineup for tonight on the front row. Hendrick Motorsports teammates, those cars always qualify fast at Daytona, but don't always seem to have the best of luck in this show. Tonight they're trying to change that story as Alex Bowman and William Byron take on Duel number 1 at Daytona. Then in row 2, you got Penske teammates Joey Logano on the inside and Ryan Blaney on the outside. Logano was leading on the white flag lap of his duel last year until he got taken out by a bad block on Chris Buescher. Behind him, Harrison Burton, the affiliate with Penske and Wood Brothers Racing in that 21 Motorcraft machine. To his outside, Bubba Wallace, the runner-up last year in the Daytona 500. You have your 2022 duel winner, Chris Buescher, on the inside of row 4. To his outside, the man, the myth, the legend, Ross Chastain. Now, I don't think the wall ride's going to work here at Daytona. It's illegal nowadays anyways. But we'll see what he can do here tonight. In row 5, Kevin Harvick, in his send-off season, has a Rookie of the Year contender. To his outside in Ty Gibbs. In row 6, Christopher Bell. And then 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson giving it another shot here in this year's Daytona 500 in the 84 for Legacy Motor Club. In row 7, 2021 Daytona 500 champion Michael McDowell in the Loves 34 machine. And then his outside, the Guns N' Roses sponsored number 43 of Eric Jones. In row 8, you have one of the open cars trying to race their way into the Daytona 500 tonight. Zane Smith making his first ever Daytona 500 start in the 36 car for Front Row Motorsports. To his outside, AJ Allmendinger, who's going full-time Cup Series racing once again this year with Colleague. In row 9, Austin Dillon, another Daytona 500 winner. And his outside, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He knows how to win at plate tracks. And then in row 10, Cody Ware and Ty Dillon. And rounding out your field is the other open car, Chandler Smith. The Smith boys going to be going at it for just one spot in the Daytona 500 Sunday. Who's going to come out on top? You're going to find out next. Brian Chastain, think the Fords work together like they did last year? I think they stand a great chance of winning tonight. I agree with you. If those Fords can work together like they did last year, they're going to be hard to beat in both of the duels, especially this one, though. You got a lot of strong cars here. 2 Penske cars and really almost 3 with Harrison Burton. And then you got 1 RFK car, a couple Stewart-Haas cars. Yeah, they're going to, if they get bunched together after green flag pit stops, oh, it's going to be hard to beat those Fords. Thanks to everyone watching, though, so far. For what it's worth, has now already moved up to the 8th biggest stream of the year. And it's duel number 1 at Daytona. Pretty even restart there for the 2 teammates at the front of the field. If any shenanigans were going to be trying to be pulled off, with Alex Bowman be able to slide in front of his teammate, that was not able to happen here. Behind him, Byron now edges out ahead of Bowman. I think he's going to try and slide up in front of his teammate down the back straightaway here. No, he's going to stay down low. Kind of surprised by that decision. Right now, everybody's staying organized, double file throughout the whole field. A big run on that outside, though, and Ryan Blaney and Bubba Wallace are going to jump out and leave Alex Bowman out to dry. Ryan Blaney's going to dart down to the lead on the inside line, taking Bubba Wallace with him, and Ryan Blaney's your new leader as they come off of turn 4. Now Bowman is leading that outside line. He's a car length behind Ryan Blaney, who's going to lead lap number 1 in Blue-Green Vacations Duel 1. And it looks like Bowman is about to bail out already. Yeah, he just jumped out 3 wide. And it looks like he's going to end up boxing an AJ Allmendinger up there. But yeah, Bowman just bailing out here, going to play it safe. But now that leaves Ross Chastain leading the outside line. And for what it's worth, Zane Smith towards the back of the pack right now in 19th. Chandler Smith, but Jimmy Johnson's all the way up in 8th. In terms of your open car battle. Thanks to everybody tuning in. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We got 40 people watching. We got 26 likes. Let's get up to 30 likes. I appreciate it. Ryan Blaney will also lead lap number 2, but Chastain kind of starting to grow a charge on that outside with Ty Gibbs and Christopher Bell pushing him. Those 2 Gibbs Toyota teammates hooked together on the outside with Jimmy Johnson right behind him. Oh boy, 60 laps is the distance here tonight. They're going to have to make at least 1 pit stop. We'll see if that happens under green or under yellow. We tend to see quite a few penalties under these green flag pit stops here in the duels. Right now, though, Blaney doing a good job of negotiating both of the lines. We're not seeing too many big runs here right now. Bubba Wallace is the first car in line behind Blaney on the inside. Chastain still leads that outside back in the pack. Austin Dillon trying to jump out 3 wide, trying to make something happen. Everybody's still in the lead draft for now, except for Alex Bowman, who has just dropped off. He is saving that car for Sunday. As they go down the back straightaway, Chastain actually edges out ahead of Blaney a little bit there. That outside line gets a good run off of turn 2 so far, according to what I'm seeing. Blaney on the inside, Chastain on the outside. As they come through the tri-oval, they're dead even at the line. Blaney's going to have the advantage, though, as they go back down towards turn 1. Bubba Wallace giving a good push to the back of the 12 right now. Ty Gibbs being a faithful pusher to the back of the Chastain so far. Like I said, things are still early on, so I don't think we're going to see too much drama. Unless maybe a bad push all of a sudden. But right now, I'd imagine guys are probably playing it pretty clean. And as I say that, Johnson has a bit of a moment there for maybe a bad push from Eric Jones. Yeah, you'll probably see these guys split this duel right about in half. Maybe run it a bit along. So yeah, I'll probably see pit stops right around lap 40. Lap 30, lap 40. I think theoretically they can run, I think, up to about 45, 48 laps. I'm pretty sure it's about their maximum fuel window. And Chastain edges out ahead of Blaney as they go through turns 1 and 2. 5 laps already complete here. Thanks to everybody watching. Appreciate it if you drop a like and subscribe. Right now, these guys just feeling out their cars as they work lap number 6. Everybody just staying patient. 2 wide, 10 rows deep. Wouldn't imagine anybody's really going to push the issue too much here. It's still very early on in the duels. You might see a bit of 3 wide action once we get into the final 10 laps. But I'd have to imagine these guys for now are going to play it pretty calm, pretty cool, pretty collected. Right now, though, Chastain's going to actually edge out by about a car length over Blaney. That outside line starting to get a little bit more momentum than the inside so far, according to what I'm seeing. And thanks to everybody watching so far. And Blaney actually was able to have big enough of a run to move up to the outside and block their run. So Blaney's still doing a good job of negotiating both lanes. You got your whole running order over to my left. If you're wondering where your favorite driver is running in this duel, if they're not in that list, that probably means they're running in duel number 2. You got your whole top 20 separated by less than a second right now. Oh, Bubba Wallace, I think, thought about moving up to block and take control of that outside line there for a moment. Top 3 cars on the inside line have made themselves clear of Ross Chastain on the outside. That inside line really starting to roll forward right here. I wonder if some people bailed on the outside in the back of the pack maybe. Because, yeah, this inside line is rolling right now. And just like that, your top 5 cars on the inside are all clear of the outside line. It looks like they might just check out on him here. And I think we might see our first choo-choo train of the Daytona 500 weekend. Woo! Oh my goodness, my throat is already starting to get a little cooked here, guys. I don't know if you know, but I had my wisdom teeth out just a couple days ago, so mouth's still a little tender, I cannot deny. Rob, how you doing? Yeah, I'm seeing what you're saying, Mark. The 3 and the 47 should work together. I would say so far that I just don't think these guys are going to push the issue too much here, especially since that inside line with a lot of Fords in it kind of charged forward there on that run. I think everybody's just going to have no choice but really just to fall in line behind the Fords and just run in there with them until the caution, or until the, I guess, green flag pit stops, or the caution, whichever comes first. So far, though, Ryan Blaney's led every lap except for one. The other was led by Ross Chastain. Right now, Ryan Blaney leads the inside line, which is made up of him, Wallace, Byron, Logano, Burton, Buscher, Harvick, McDowell. And the whole field is single file, or at least your top 8 or so are single file. And then everybody else is slowly working their way into a single file line from there on back. Alex Bowman, who started on pole for duel number 1, has just dropped from this pack. He's just coasting. He's going to coast all the way to the end of this duel. Just play it safe, preserve that car for Sunday's race. He is sacrificing possibly up to 10 points, but you know what? He thinks it's better if they just save that car for Sunday in that track position, which I could agree with. But I don't know, it's so easy to pass in the 500. I know you do risk possibly getting caught up in an incident as you work your way to the front. But, you know, even though it's a little bit harder to pass in the next-gen car, it's still easy enough to where you could probably be up in the top 5 by lap like 15. It's just about working the runs right. Oops. And for what it's worth, guys, this stream has now moved up to the 7th biggest stream of the year. Slowly working our way forward. Thanks to everybody tuning in so far. We got 45 people watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you haven't already. Can we get it up to 40 likes? I'd appreciate it. And just like I had mentioned, we were under commercial break there, but we are back, and things are single file. Everybody falling in line behind Ryan Blaney is there, taking the choo-choo train around the inside line, not up against the wall. Yeah, your top 5, Blaney, Wallace, Byron, Logano, and Burton. And then there is a bit of a gap, though, it looks like. Oh, who is that? He can handle. Now Chastain's going to jump out and lead that outside line, trying to lead a comeback, but oh, a little bit swirly there off the nose of the 3. Yeah, I would just say right now these guys in the back of this draft, they're just trying to dice things up to see how the car feels. How much can they push the issue? What types of passes can they make? How big of runs can they develop? Yeah, back in the pack, they're continuing to dice things up. Chastain trying to develop a second line. It's just not quite there. AJ Allmendinger in 13th, closing up on the bumper of Ty Gibbs. He's got a bit of a run there off of turn 4. Thought about poking to his outside there for a moment. Just didn't quite have enough momentum to really probably make anything happen with that. It's kind of funny. You got the guys at the front of the pack right now. They're just all single file, just clicking down the laps, just trying to get out of here, trying to get a good starting position for Sunday. Then the guys in the back of the pack that are almost just goofing around, trying to swap positions, figure out their cars, do everything they possibly can, and hopefully just not take one another out. Hey, you're up to 3,238 subscribers. I appreciate it. We're trying to get to 3,250 tonight. We're just 12 subscribers away. And Alex Bowman, who is not in this lead draft. Now, it doesn't matter where he finishes in this duel as long as he doesn't crash because he's starting on pole. He's about half a lap down. So when these guys do catch that 48 car, that could possibly be an opportunity to maybe make a pass, use that lapped car as a pick because he's going to be going about 10 miles an hour slower than these leaders. Yeah, for what it's worth, the guys in the draft, they're running 47.2s, whereas Alex Bowman's running 49.5. So just about 2 second difference, 2 seconds a lap is the gap in terms of being in the draft versus out of the draft. Just as you said, the 3 was starting to move up, Mark, he just got shuffled back out to 17th, just ahead of his brother. But yeah, like I said, these guys in the back of the pack, they're just trying to feel things out, dice things up, figure out what their cars got. But yeah, Zane Smith has been able to work his way up to 10th place. Currently has that transfer spot. Chandler Smith is back in 16th. And yeah, I'd imagine Zane Smith's not going to be trying to play any games, trying to gain any more spots, at least for now. I think he's going to just continue to ride up there in 10th. Tate Flagg flipping one of the duels. You know what? I think that might be a little bit bold on the prediction side. I think they'll be safe in terms of that. Oh boy, are we dealing with some connection issues tonight? We might end up having to switch things in the middle of these duels here. Might try to switch out the Wi-Fi system or whatever. Try and get a better connection because it's just noticing now as I'm checking in. The audio seems to be smooth, but camera quality definitely not there tonight. Not totally sure what's causing that on my end, but yeah, I'll try and see if maybe we can find a solution to that. Currently in a commercial break, though, once again, and back in the pack, they're dicing things up, but they might be dicing it up too much. They might lose this lead draft here. A bunch of Chevrolets, including Chandler Smith and Jimmy Johnson, they are getting too wide, and I think they might lose the draft here. There's about a 10-car length gap between them, and they continue to run side by side. I think they're going to lose this draft here, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep with them. This kind of happened last year. The Chevrolets kind of were goofing around, if that's how I'll say, and they end up losing out to the Fords big time. Now Austin Dillon and Chastain are hooked up, and everybody's kind of somewhat worked their way single file. But yeah, the gap has definitely now been made. The top 12 are separated from the rest of the field by what? Austin Dillon is... That gap right now, I'm just looking again. Yeah, that's about a 7/10 of a second gap there between Austin Dillon and Eric Jones. Now we'll keep tabs on that and see if they can grow that gap back down. Usually about 1 second is kind of the distance that you can stay in the draft to somebody. And as they go down the back straightaway, I think they might just be safe here. Ooh, that was almost troubling, but Ty Dillon looks like he might lose the draft. But Austin Dillon immediately is going to jump out to the outside of Eric Jones. But nobody's going to go with him, so he's going to fall to the tail end of this draft. Oh, boy, yeah, it looks like Ty Dillon is going to lose the draft here, so now we're down to just 19 cars in this lead draft. But that is kind of what happens now. I would say that 77 is probably a little bit slower than these other cars, that Spire entry, but yeah, like I was saying, yeah, it's maybe a bit slower, but if you just get shuffled out here towards the tail end of this pack and you don't have any help behind you, yeah, you can lose this draft pretty quickly. Yeah, Austin Dillon, though, definitely been dicing it up almost as much as anybody so far. And, hey, we're already seeing pitters here early on. A lot of the Chevrolets. I don't think Austin Dillon realized that. But, yeah, Chevy's trying to catch everybody else off guard here with a short pit. Don't want anybody getting a penalty. And also, you got to make sure you have a smooth pit stop here. Just gas here, just gas. Maybe 2 tires if you're feeling it. Yeah, we'll see how the Fords and Toyotas respond to this here. Looks like everybody working their way off of pit road pretty smoothly. Or who is that? Oh, Allmendinger maybe with an issue there. Allmendinger with a long stop. He might lose this draft once they all get onto the track. Jimmy Johnson also with the not the fastest stop either. We'll see how they all get sorted back out once they get on the track. Is anybody else going to come this second time around? Nope. The only problem is, though, there were some Chevrolets mixed in with those Fords, so it kind of broke up this lead draft. Your top 6 are together, but then McDowell, Bell, Gibbs, Zane Smith, and Cody Ware, those 5 guys are kind of now separated from it here. If he's going to have to come down pit road, yeah, that could make things really difficult. But Chandler Smith and Stenhouse are going to have to make a second run down pit road here. All those penalties are going to be killer. But even then, though, still, these Chevrolets are not formed up together. Like, they are going to probably go a lap down here to these Fords and Toyotas. You have about 4 Chevrolets that are kind of leading this bunch, and then another gap, and there's about 3, and then another gap, and there's about 2 more. And these Fords, if you look at the lap time, last time by, Ryan Blaney ran a 47.22. And it looks like they're still updating their lap times from when they pitted. We'll see here probably this time by across the line. Ryan Blaney runs a 47. Okay, actually still waiting for update. We'll figure that out here in a moment, but we'll see the differences between the lap times of these Fords, Fords and Toyotas, which are pretty bunched together, versus the Chevrolets, which are kind of spread apart. Okay, so last time by, Fords ran a 47.3. Actually, 47.3 for Ryan Blaney. And then in the Chevrolet camp, 48 flats. So about a second difference. Some of the faster times in that Chevrolet group, a 47.6. So about 4/10 of a gap in terms of lap times between the Fords and the Chevrolets. And now here comes Chandler Smith serving his penalty. I don't see Stenhouse coming this time, but Stenhouse will have to come down pit road. Or I think Stenhouse already went down pit road. Yeah, Chandler Smith gonna need a caution or something to bail him out here so he can get that lucky dog. The only problem is he has to make sure he's ahead of Stenhouse. So in the event that there is a caution, he gets the lucky dog and Stenhouse doesn't get the lucky dog. Yeah, Zane Smith is cruising right now, running 9th overall. Now he still has to make a pit stop. Also, Cody Ware has lost the draft in this lead pack, so once all these pit stops cycle out, he'll probably be a lap down. And now this time at the line, Blaney with a 46.5, and then the Chevrolets, they're hardly even in the 49s, or the 48s. Yeah, 49s, 48s. Bro, oh my goodness. These Fords are like actually just on raw pace, 2 or 1.5 seconds faster a lap on the Chevrolets, and the Chevrolets aren't even that discombobulated. That's pretty crazy. Now I'm trying to keep a tab on where Chandler Smith kind of merges out with everybody else. But Ty Gibbs has lost this lead draft of about these top 9 or so. So yeah, Ty Gibbs might get hung out to dry here pretty quickly. And Zane Smith is also starting to lose this lead draft, trying to hang on to the bumper of his teammate Michael McDowell. It's almost like Blaney's going too fast. So far, though, the Fords are taking the Chevrolets to school on how to do it in these duels. Thanks, everybody watching right now. We're up to almost 1,000 viewers on the night. I appreciate it. And that moves this stream up to the 6th biggest stream of the year so far. We'll see if we can work out the connection issues. I'm sorry if there's a bit of lag and stuff. We'll see if we can work that out, possibly under caution or at the end of the duel. And speaking of the end of the duel, we are crossing the halfway point, this time at the line. 30 laps complete. 30 to go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these Fords, once all these pit stops cycle out, unless there's a caution in the middle of it that makes things weird, they are going to be miles ahead of these Chevrolets. Possibly even maybe put them a lap down. Johnson is done. What is up with Johnson? What are your guys' thoughts on Jimmy Johnson? I see that's what's kind of being talked about in the chat right now. We got some problems with Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, the Fords are about to put these Chevrolets a lap down. The Chevys were trying to catch the Fords and Toyotas off guard by pitting early, and it seems like the only people they caught off guard were themselves. Oh, and here come the Fords and Toyotas before they lap the Chevrolets. They're all going to pit here at the halfway point. Everybody trying to back their cars down so they don't get caught speeding. We already saw 2 people with speeding penalties. And everybody just get in fuel and maybe 2 tires. And everybody's back out onto the track. It looks like pretty smoothly here so far. And who's going to win the race off of pit road? It looks like Logano, then Harvick, Bell, and Blaney, who led him on to pit road, is going to be a little bit behind. And Zane Smith kind of stalled it in his pit stall for a moment, and so he might be in jeopardy of losing this lead draft. Chandler Smith, meanwhile, unlaps himself. But yeah, no, Zane Smith has definitely lost this lead draft. I will say that. Ty Gibbs as well. Yeah, this field is getting really spread out. And so these Chevrolets did lose quite a bit of time to these Fords, but they might be able to make it up. Oh, I think Ty Gibbs with a speeding penalty. He had already lost the draft, and it looks like he's definitely going to lose it now. Yeah, Chandler Smith able to unlap himself, but he's probably going to go lap down once again once these other guys get all formed up. Yeah, these Fords and Toyotas still not really formed up. It'll probably take a couple laps to do so. Logano. Oh, but Blaney trying to get to the outside of Bell. He's trying to get back to the front of this line. Buscher's going with him. And just like that, it's going to be Blaney able to move up to 3rd place. And Bell's going to get shuffled back to the back of that lead draft. So your top 7 were able to smoothly get on and off of pit road. They had 10 originally, but they've lost 3 of them through these pit stops. And you got 5 Fords and 2 Toyotas. Logano, Harvick, Blaney, Buscher, Bell, Burton, Wallace, That's your top 7. Then McDowell kind of lost this lead draft. He's got Zane Smith in the lapped car of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with him. So those 3 are trying to work together. They're about 2 seconds off the lead draft. And then 10 seconds off the lead draft are all of your Chevrolets, led by Byron, then Chastain and Jones. And then you got Cody Ware, Ty Gibbs, Chandler Smith, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Alex Bowman, all kind of in no man's land. Yeah, right now, Chandler Smith basically going to need a caution to bail him out of this one. Zane Smith, for now, seems to have that transfer spot all locked up. Thanks to everybody tuning in, though, so far. I got 75 people watching right now. I appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Hey, guys, let me know if there are lag issues, or I guess if they continue on. I know there were some lag issues earlier. If they resolve themselves, hopefully that happens. Otherwise, during or after the finish of this first duel, maybe we'll try and do something to the internet connection. I don't know how it all works, but we'll try and do something, make it a little smoother. Got 80 people watching right now. I appreciate it. We got 40 likes. Let's get it up to 50 likes. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 3,250 subscribers by the end of the night. We're just 12 away right now. Okay, you can see currently on your leaderboard, Logano leads the field, then Harvick behind him, then Blaney, Buescher, Bell, and Bubba Wallace. Your top 7 are kind of broken away. And McDowell and Zane Smith are actually starting to make up some ground on this lead draft, even though there's just the 2 of them. Kind of surprised by that. Maybe they're able to catch a bit of a wake off of that lead group. They were 3 seconds back not too long ago, so I thought they were about to fade into the abyss, but they're staying in it. Then the Chevrolets, 10 seconds off the lead pack. They've made up about 2-3 tenths of a second. They're going to need to do more than that to make it up, but it's a good effort nonetheless, I guess. Thanks for watching, though. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. We're up to 3,239 subscribers, just 11 away from 3,250. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are subscribed, though, so that way you don't miss any of the action, because we'll be live again tomorrow night for the Daytona Truck Series race at 7:30 Eastern. And we'll be live on Saturday for the ARCA race at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the Xfinity Series race, and then Sunday, our coverage of the Daytona 500 will start at 2 p.m. Eastern. Oh, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., it looks like he's going to be able to pass Chandler Smith here. They're both a lap down, but that is for the free pass position if we were to get a caution. And they are not going to be alone battling for that lucky dog position pretty soon, because Ty Gibbs is probably going to end up a lap down as well. Cody Ware, Alex Bowman. Those are other drivers that have lost the draft. Yeah, Michael McDowell has been able to lead a charge back, and he's going to catch up to this lead draft here, I'd imagine, here pretty soon. Kind of surprised by that effort from that Front Row Motorsports group. Thanks to everybody tuning in so far, ladies and gentlemen. We got 85 people watching. I appreciate it. 22 laps to go this time by. Logano leads the field. Harvick in tow, and his teammate Ryan Blaney in third. Then you have your defending winner of the duel at Daytona, Chris Buescher, in fourth. Then Bell in fifth. Harrison Burton sixth. Bubba Wallace seventh. Then McDowell. Zane Smith, the first open car, in ninth, and then William Byron in 10th would have the last point given out tonight. Or, well, no, not the last given out tonight, because there's still another duel to come. That duel will probably start about 9 o'clock is when it's scheduled in terms of the TV window, but if this one finishes caution-free, I'd imagine that we're probably going to start it a little bit sooner than that. Now, at first, it was the Fords making up time on the Chevrolets. Now it's the Chevrolets making up time on the Fords. Now they have greater numbers than the Fords, but they're not making up a lot of time. In the last, 10 laps or so, they've made up, or in the last 7 laps, they've made up about 1 second. They're going to have to do a lot more than that if they want to actually catch back up to this lead draft, excuse me. So far, the only big storylines have been really the pit road penalties. Stenhouse speeding, Chandler Smith speeding, Ty Gibbs speeding. Those three guys have taken themselves out of contention, and that probably means Chandler Smith is not going to make it into the Daytona 500 on Sunday in his first attempt. That's a tough break for Chandler. But it's just the mistakes. You can't afford to make the mistakes. $20 to go, and last time by, I actually think this group of Fords might have been faster than the Chevrolets. And, yeah, they're about a tenth of, basically dead even. Basically dead even. We'll see the gap. This last time by, the gap was 9.250 from Logano to Byron. We'll see what it is this time. Because now these FRM Fords have been able to tag onto the back of this lead group, and that might boost their speed here just a bit. And they're about to catch up to Ty Gibbs and Cody Ware and put them a lap down, and that'll be two more cars that'll probably join into their line. But more importantly, that'll take away the free pass position from Stenhouse or Chandler Smith. Oh, and it looks like Johnson... Oh, wait. Oh, my goodness. Mike Joy was just tripping out. Bowman was... The 48, they were doing, a graphic on the screen of where the drivers were running, and it was just a circle with the car number. And he was talking about the 48 machine. He was calling him Jimmy Johnson, but it was just Alex Bowman. Took a moment for him to realize that, and he even got me thinking that that was Jimmy Johnson. And Bowman's going to tag onto the back of that group of Chevrolets. Meanwhile, that lead pack was able to negotiate those lappers of Cody Ware and Ty Gibbs pretty smoothly, except for McDowell and Zane Smith. So they might end up losing that lead draft once again. We'll see if they can join or make some ground back forward. But speaking of the gap between the Fords and the Chevrolets, oh my goodness, the Fords are just so much faster. It's only been 2 laps, and they've already gained almost a full second on that group of Chevrolets. Yeah, McDowell being disconnected from that lead draft for 1 lap. The gap is already almost a second and a half. Now, they were able to make up that ground last time. We'll see if they can do it again here. I'll be interested to see if losing the FRM cars affects this day. So far today, we have gained 8 subscribers, so appreciate it. Checking in on the chat right now. Oh, we're gonna change this poll around to There we go. Make it a new poll. Who wins at Daytona? You gotta have Logano, Harvick, or Blaney. There we go. There we go. Hey, we got 85 people watching right now. I appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and hit that subscribe button. At the moment, this stream has moved up to the 6th biggest stream so far this year, and we are not even done with duel number 1. So I think this thing still has a shot at moving to number 1 overall on the whole leaderboard. Right now, my mouth tonight, I'm going to have to start drinking some tea and honey to preserve this voice for tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Dean, Chevys are just waiting. I don't know, man. They were losing time, but actually, as I say they're losing time, it looks like they've made that time back up. The problem is I think it was because that lead group got a bit discombobulated when they were trying to lap Ty Gibbs and Cody Ware. And now that they've gotten around them, I think they're going to start pulling away once again. Still, though, at this point, with how many laps are left? There are 14 to go. They would be having to make about half a second a lap to catch up to this lead group, and right now, it's just not happening. They're picking up maybe a tenth or 2/10 each lap. So they're going to need a caution to bunch this field back together. Well, now I say that, and last time by, Byron was half a second faster than Joey Logano. I don't know. 8.8 seconds to the gap with 13 to go. That means they're going to be having to make up about 0.6 of a second a lap to catch him with about 1 or 2 to go. But yeah, it looks like McDowell and Zane Smith are now catching back up to the tail end of that lead group, so we'll see if that increases the speed in this lead group. What would really help this group of Chevrolets is if these Fords start to battle ever so slightly. Even if only 2 or 3 cars jump out of line, that'll be enough to just cost them half a second or more each lap. And just as I had mentioned, the Chevrolets were gaining time. They're losing time once again last time by. The Fords 0.2 of a second faster, and they grew that lead once again. So yeah, like I said, things are looking pretty bleak for the Chevrolets unless we see a caution. Hey, we're up to 3,240 subscribers. I appreciate it, guys. We're just 10 away from our goal of 3,250 tonight. Looking at the poll, though, so far, according to you guys voting, about a third think Logano, a third think Harvick, and a third think it's going to be somebody else. Well, you know what? Last time by, it looks like the Fords were a lot faster than the Chevrolets. This time by, the Chevrolets answer, and they're 0.3 of a second faster. At least as far as I can remember, I feel like I've never really seen that at Daytona, where you're just seeing an ebb and flow of a couple tenths of a second lap to lap. Usually it's just one group is faster than the other. But now with 10 to go, time running out, it'll take the second group 8.7 seconds, this time 8.5. Yeah, they're only making up 0.2 of a second, which is good. But yeah, like I said, they need to be picking up about 1 second every lap, not 0.2. Hey, we're up to 50 likes, guys. I appreciate it. And we're up to 3,241 subscribers. We're just 9 away from our sub goal. Appreciate it. Right now, your running order: Logano, Harvick, Blaney, Buescher, Bell, Burton, Wallace, McDowell, and Zane Smith make up this lead draft. Then about a 7-second gap back to William Byron, who once again made up about 0.2 of a second on this lead group. But they're going to have to do more than that to catch him before the finish. But yeah, your second group, starting in 10th, is Byron, Chastain, Jones, Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon, Jimmy Johnson, A.J. Allmendinger. Then the first car 1 lap down in 17th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's currently running at the tail end of that leading pack. Then you have Ty Gibbs, Chandler Smith, Alex Bowman, Cody Ware are all running 1 lap down in that second pack. And that second group, they had to work their way around the lapped car of Ty Gibbs. That's probably going to cost them a little bit of time here with 8 to go. This time at the line, we'll see what the gap is. It looks like, we'll see what the gap is this time at the line. I actually think Byron once again was a bit quicker, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, this group of Chevrolets is going to need a caution. But even still, if they finish all the way back there, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Sunday is 3 times as long as what this race is right here tonight. So they have plenty of time to make up that ground. Cody Ware is more talented than Jimmy Johnson. I might have to save that comment. I got to save that. I just pinned that in the chat, George Bush. That's staying around. I think we just have to admit it at this point. Seven to go. This time, in terms of the lap time, William Byron, the gap, 8.3 seconds. Yeah, it seems like this momentum's just stalled out from the second group. They're still a little bit faster, but with 7 to go, it's going to take basically a miracle at this point for them to make up that much ground. I mean, if these Fords start battling, that's really their only shot. Now with 6 to go this time at the line. The Fords were actually a bit faster last time by, so yeah, I'd say that basically closes the door on the Chevrolets. Unless we see a caution right here. Yeah, with 6 laps to go, I'd say the door has closed on these Chevrolets unless we get a caution. Meanwhile, at the front, it's Logano, Harvick, Blaney, Buescher, Bell, Burton, Wallace, McDowell, Zane Smith, and then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Those 10 cars are in the mix. Stenhouse is a lap down, but you got 10 cars in this lead draft. If somebody makes a move, who goes with who? Obviously, I think Blaney's going to stay with his teammate Logano, but we saw last year in one of the duels, I believe it was Cindric who pulled out on Blaney to make a move that kind of hung out his teammate to dry there. So I'm going to say that I think Blaney will stay loyal to Logano. And then if Harvick pulls out, I would imagine Buescher would go with him. You have the 2 Toyota affiliates with Bell and Bubba Wallace. I'd imagine they would work together if somebody decides to make a move. McDowell and Zane Smith, their teammates, they'd probably go somewhere. Harrison Burton will probably do whatever Logano and Blaney do since, he's kind of got that affiliate with the Wood brothers. I didn't even know Cody Ware ever did it. Oh, yeah, I do remember Cody Ware did IndyCar. I forgot. Cody Ware was just trying to do everything. I think he actually was running better than Jimmy a couple times when he did IndyCar. Anyways, back to the race. 4 to go. This top group just staying together. Bubba Wallace kind of backing up here, this second group. I think he's trying to build a run here on Harrison Burton. We'll see where he goes with it. Oh boy, Ty Dillon coming down pit road here. I really don't know why they're pitting, but it seems like they're having an issue on that 77. Tire came off the car and rolled off. That will be a penalty, but at this point, it doesn't really matter. Ty Dillon's probably going to finish last here tonight. So he'll be starting at the tail end of the field tomorrow. Thanks, everybody, watching. We got 80 people in here. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. We're up to 3,242 subscribers, 8 away from our goal. Hit that subscribe button. 3 to go. Yeah, Bubba Wallace trying to back up this bottom 4 in this lead draft, just trying to take the energy from that lead group, get a big run on him, and then catch him off guard. Yeah, Harrison Burton's kind of a sit and duck right now. And with Bell kind of also being at the tail end of that lead draft, I'd imagine he's going to jump out and try and take control of that run with Bubba Wallace, and that'll just hurt the momentum of this lead group even more. But because you have the teammates of Blaney, of Logano, I think it's going to be pretty hard to overcome them. And Bubba's going to be able to jump right around Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton, like I said, is sit and duck. McDowell is going to go right by him. But, Stenhouse decides to go with Harrison Burton, and that's going to really kill the momentum from these guys. Oh, yeah, that really hurt him there. Now with 2 to go, Bubba Wallace, that move by Stenhouse just killed the momentum in this second group. Oh, now here comes Bell and Bubba. They thought about poking to the outside here as we come to the white flag here in duel number 1. They go to the outside of Chris Buescher. Blaney's going to move up to block him as they go through the tri-oval. Harvick's going to move up. Now Blaney's going to chop to the inside of Harvick and leave Harvick out to dry. But Bell's going to stay up top with Harvick, and Blaney's going to be the odd man out here. Is Buescher going to go with Blaney, or is he going to go to the top? Buescher's going to go with Blaney. Now Harvick's going to have a big run on Logano off of turn 4. Or off of turn 2. Bell down the back straightaway. He's going to cut to the inside, but his teammate can't go with him. Logano is in control right now. Big run coming down the inside from Ryan Blaney. Bell's going to have a run on Logano. Is he going to go to the outside? Yes, he will. He's going to side draft that 22, but Blaney's going to push his teammate here as they come through the tri-oval. Bell's got the edge, but he doesn't have any help behind him. It's a drag race to the line. Logano's got the advantage, and Logano's going to win duel number 1 at Daytona. Bell comes home second, Blaney third. Fourth, Buescher fifth, McDowell sixth, Harvick seventh, Wallace eighth is Zane Smith, and he will race his way into the Daytona 500. Then Harrison Burton in ninth, William Byron 10th. That's who gets the points here tonight. And 17th, Chandler Smith 18th, Ty Gibbs 19th, Cody Ware 20th, and Ty Dillon rounds out your field. So this first duel, pretty calm all throughout, but usually it's a tale of two duels. One's pretty calm and pretty mellow. Second one, not so much. We'll see who brings the chaos in duel number 2. What are your guys' thoughts on that first duel? What are your thoughts? Who looked strong? Who looked weak? I would say the Fords looked really good. That's really all you can say, man. The Chevrolets looked pretty discombobulated. George Bush. Wow, man, what a weak move by Blaney. Well, Blaney's going to stay with his teammate. He's going to push Logano across the line. Thanks, everybody watching right now. Hey, we're up to 3,243 subscribers. Just noticed that. Appreciate that. Up to 3,244. Appreciate it. Trying to get to 3,250. We're just 6 away now at this point. Also, this stream, we're up to over 1,600 viewers on the night, guys. I appreciate it. That moves this stream up to being the 5th biggest stream of the season, and it's probably going to move right up there to number 2 pretty quickly. I know, Brian. And if you're a fan of Ford, you're excited with what you've seen here so far tonight. Those Fords looking really strong, replicating what they did last year. And Logano gets the win in duel number 1. Solid way to start his season. He's already got 10 points. He's leading the point standings as of right now. We'll be getting to your lineup of duel number 2 here pretty quickly, but I'm pretty sure according to the TV window, duel number 2 doesn't have to start until 9 o'clock. So I don't know if they're just going to kind of fill this area in between 1 and 2 with, 50 minutes of whatever. But I guess we'll see. We'll see. Oh boy, hold on with me one moment. Excuse me. Yeah, Zane Smith is in. Chandler Smith is out. In the second duel, the two drivers going at it will be Connor Daly and Austin Hill. Who in the chat thinks Connor Daly's getting in? Who in the chat thinks Austin Hill's getting in? I think Austin Hill, albeit not in a cup car, he definitely has a lot more experience at these plate tracks. We saw the success he had last year in the Xfinity Series on the plate tracks. So, yeah, my personal pick has got to be Austin Hill because of all that success he had in the Xfinity Series last year on the plate tracks. Yeah, I think we're going to try and end up switching out a Wi-Fi source here, and hopefully that'll improve the quality of the stream. Just give me a moment here. Hill or Daly? Comment below. Also be interested to see how Pastrana does in the draft. Yeah, guys, thanks to everybody tuning in. We are going to try and switch out the Wi-Fi here pretty quickly. See what we could do, see what we can do. Hold on here momentarily. Hold on, trying. Okay, so gonna try and see if we can swap out our Wi-Fi source. Thanks to everybody tuning in so far. Sorry for some technical difficulties we're experiencing at the moment. Okay, I'm tempted to like disconnect from the Wi-Fi, but I have a feeling it's probably gonna end this. Oh well, okay. We're gonna, I guess, have to bear through it. So for now, hopefully it'll be figured out for tomorrow. Brian, I did not get the opportunity to watch that yet, but I definitely will when I get an opportunity. Hey, we're up to over 1,800 viewers on the night. I appreciate it, guys. That actually makes this stream the second biggest stream so far this 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season. The only thing ahead of it was qualifying last night, and I have a feeling we might just pass it considering that we are 1,800 right now, which is basically halfway there, and we still got another half of this duel action to go. So I'll try and keep you updated on when duel number 2 is going to start. It's scheduled to start at 9 o'clock. It doesn't necessarily have to because of the fact that this duel just went caution-free. Oh. Hold on just a moment. Look at the chat. What are you guys' thoughts? This is when the concession stands make their money. Oh, I know. I'm literally I'm actually like working on ordering food right now. So I'm not ordering from the Daytona concession stands, but yeah, I guess I am in a way going to the concessions. Yeah, there's definitely some sort of like technical gremlins attacking us right now. Because just everything about my setup is running a bit slow tonight. So not quite sure where the root of this problem is, where it stems from. But we'll solve it before tomorrow. Yeah, it says, yeah, the duel number 2 does not have to start till 9 o'clock. So, I mean, they might just have a super long kind of race hub segment here where they're just going to interview a bunch of guys. We'll see. I'll kind of keep you posted. Oh my goodness, man. The connection's really poor right now. George Bush. Yeah, Zane Smith. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even. He didn't even do anything too incredible. He just didn't make a mistake. Chandler Smith made a mistake. That was the difference. Kind of the story in last year's dual races as well. Just can't afford to make a costly mistake. Dude, I wish there were duels for every race. Now that would tear up a ton of equipment eventually, but honestly, there's probably going to be a couple of guys that get more points in their duel tonight than they get in Sunday during the race. Mark, well, I don't think Jimmy really ran bad. I don't really think anybody necessarily ran bad. Just a couple of people made mistakes in terms of speeding down pit road and all that. But, yeah, I wouldn't say anybody really ran bad or sold the bag per se. You know what, guys? We're going to disconnect from the Wi-Fi and try and reset some stuff. So there is a chance that this stream is going to end. I mean, it probably will end. But if it doesn't end, then just hang with us. If it does end, we are going to start a new stream. I'm going to be interested if this is still going, actually. Wow, all right, it worked through that. I'm kind of surprised. I can't lie. Oh, oops. You know what, guys? I think we're going to have to step aside here. We will be back for duel number 2 in about 25 minutes. So you should go and check the concession stand, grab yourself some popcorn, whatever. And, we will be back soon on my end as well. Wow, you guys everybody's thinking Hill's going to qualify in over Daly, first of all. But yeah, we are going to step aside here. Okay, guys, so we just ran out and we got some grub. We got some Chipotle. And we could not have gotten back at any more of a perfect time. Oh, I just realized I got to update the leaderboard, though. Well, the leaderboard might not quite be updated in time, but I'm going to be working on it as they work lap number 1. The green flag's about to be out for Kyle Larson on the inside, Eric Almirola on the outside. That's your front row for duel number 2 from Daytona. And the pace car is going to dart off as they go into the Geico restart zone. Kyle Larson and Eric Almirola will lead the field in the green in duel number 2 at Daytona. Larson with a good restart down low. Almirola's got help, though, on the top side. Your top 8 are all bunched together in a pretty good form as they go through turns 1 and 2. Down low, though, they're looking good. Then outside, I don't know if Suarez or somebody had an issue, but all of a sudden, they have fallen apart, and Larson and Briscoe are going to dart out to the lead. Your top 3 all single file. And now Larson and Briscoe working together down low on the top side. Almirola and Cindric. Oh, oops, didn't realize. I thought that we had the leaderboard up there. There we go. Leaderboard is up, and we are good for heat race, or dual race number 2. Not heat race, but dual race number 2. And Larson will lead at the line. Then Briscoe in tow. And then they're side by side for third. Kyle Busch on the inside, Eric Almirola on the outside. And row 4, you have Chase Elliott and defending Daytona 500 champion Austin Cindric. Okay, right now, all top 20 cars are still bunched together, but Connor Daly, I think, might have already lost the draft. They might have an issue on that 50 car. Okay, yeah. I think this battle for the open car spot might already be over. Connor Daly has already lost the lead draft. Meanwhile, Austin Hill isn't really in this lead group, but he's in the draft still. But at the front, it's Almirola who led it last time by at the line. That outside line had a good run through the tri-oval down the back straightaway. Once again, it's some Fords working together at the top. Man, we have some really aggressive pushing, though, here early on. A lot of guys getting pretty swirly. Cindric getting up on the right rear corner panel of that 10 car, giving him a push through turns 3 and 4 into the tri-oval. Looks like Almirola is going to lead this one once again at the stripe. That outside line just has a bit of an edge on the inside right now. Hey, we're up to 3,249 subscribers. Just one subscriber away from 3,250. Man, that Chipotle is good. Yeah, Connor Daly is already 8 seconds off the lead draft. He is 3 seconds off the pace. There are serious issues or something on that 50 car. And there's already a gap here, though. Unlike the last group, Gregson, LaJoie, Herbst, McLeod, Pastrana, and Hill have kind of fallen off this lead draft. And even Hamlin's barely hanging on to this lead draft. It's really just your top 13 or so that are running single or double file at the front of the field. Then there's a bit of a gap to a second group of cars that are all just kind of barely chained together. And already, I think Austin Hill's also lost the draft. This could be a very interesting battle. Austin Hill and Connor Daly have both already lost the draft. So currently, Pastrana is poised to beat both Austin Hill and Connor Daly, and that means it would default to Austin Hill getting in. Thanks to everybody watching, though. Make sure you drop a like, hit that subscribe button. I know I kind of dipped there for a bit, so now we kind of got to rebuild the momentum from duel number 1. Larson and Almirola going really hard for it right now at the front of the field. Bowman bailed on early on in duel number 1. So far, though, Larson continuing to fight it up here with these guys. And personally, as a Larson fan, I actually don't mind that run on these plate tracks. So for him to get out here and lead a lot here at Daytona, I think is a great experience for him. Oh, and the caution's out already. Caution out for the first time tonight. Oh. Oh my goodness, that 50 car is just so far off the pace. I'm interested if it's just not having practice, and maybe that 50 car is really just really poor equipment, or if maybe Connor Daly, I don't know. Like I'm really confused as to why they're so far off the pace here. But this caution will bunch up the field here, so we'll get another restart. Before that caution, it was like Travis Pastrana, BJ McLeod, Austin Hill, and Connor Daly, already 4 cars that kind of lost the lead draft. And honestly, with this caution, oh wait, I'm pretty sure they made it mandatory that you had to pit in the duels. I'm pretty sure that's a rule that was like invented like back in like the 80s or so, because somebody was able to make the fuel strategy so that way they could go the entire duel without pitting. So now you have to pit during a duel. But maybe if they got rid of that rule, if we get a couple of cautions, these guys might be able to stretch it all the way on a tank of gas. It'd be a tall task, but possibly. Hey, we got 50 people watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're up to 3,250 subscribers. I appreciate it. With his final full-time season in the NASCAR Cup Series. Currently just munching on some Chipotle that I grabbed in between the duels. Really hitting the spot right now. In case you missed duel number 1, the winner was Joey Logano. And in terms of the open car battle, Zane Smith got in, Chandler Smith missed out. No incidents really in that one. And everybody's coming down pit road here, except for, I think, 2 cars. Not quite sure who that was, but interested to see what the choices are here from the team. Maybe if we were to get another caution, they would be able to go all the way. Oh, Justin Haley is the one who lost the side window, and I believe he stayed out at the caution, so I'm not sure what their plan is for that in terms of replacing it, because I'm pretty sure NASCAR is going to make sure they get that part. So Haley and McLeod stayed out here. I have a feeling they're both going to come down pit road this time. Right now, Pastrana. I'm surprised they haven't gone over this, but he's asking, like, when somebody sticks their hand out the window at me, what does that mean? Like, does that mean come push me? I feel like they would have probably gone over this with him beforehand, but might as well learn on the fly. Okay, now here comes Haley and McLeod to come down pit road this time. So Haley will replace that window, and McLeod will just get his regular service. Hopefully they're able to replace that window quick enough for Haley to not lose a lap. Oh, they're able to quickly replace that window on the 31. Like, he's already back out there. That was only about a 30-second endeavor. Looks like BJ McLeod having some issues on pit road. It sounds like that he's stalling the car and can't get that going right now. Delicious. Delicious. Okay, so we're about to get restarted here. 10 laps complete, 50 to go. Caution came out for the side window on the 31 car coming off, but he is back in it. The green flag will be back out, though. Almirola on the inside. Larson on the outside. A flip-flop of the first restart. Will we see a different result this time? You're about to find out. Green flag back in the air. The Fords had a good restart down low. Cindric giving a good push to the back of Almirola. Larson trying to inch back forward, though, as they go into turn one. And Kyle Busch is giving a monstrous push to the back of Kyle Larson as they go through turns 1 and 2. Now the field is starting to come back together as they go back down the back straightaway. Larson's got the advantage. So far, it seems like the outside line's having a little bit better luck on these restarts. Man, Kyle Busch is shoving that 5 car right now. Larson moves down to block that inside line as they go through the tri-oval. And he will lead in that lap at the line. Now, I'm assuming he's probably going to move back up to try and block Kyle Busch, but I think it's going to be too late. Towards the tail end of this draft, once again, Daly is just losing the draft. I mean, I think that 50 car is just, I think it's truly just not good enough of a car. That's a small team. I think it's just that 50 just does not literally have the pace. Rarely do you see that in this modern era of NASCAR, but I just think, yeah, that car is missing something. He's barely even hanging on to this lead draft thanks to Chase Briscoe. The other open car, though, Austin Hill, starting to work his way forward. He's 14th overall. Man, these guys are pushing a lot harder in this one than the first one, I'll say that. Oh, my. Wait, Chris Davis, no sound? Okay, I have sound. I was going to say, yeah. I was about to say, oh, my goodness, I have no sound. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have sound. Okay. I think they're going to wreck. I mean, right now, Suarez is shoving the crap out of Kyle Busch. And Kyle Busch is just barely hanging on to these pushes right now from the 99 down the back straightaway. This is getting pretty chaotic right now. Also, BJ McLeod, after his issues on pit road, he was able to get back out on track, but because it was the lap before the restart, he's lost the draft. He's about half a lap down right now. And Connor Daly is just barely hanging on to this lead draft. Barely. Larson got a good push from Almirola. Is he going to slide up and try and block Kyle Busch here? He can choose which line he wants to go with. He's going to stay down low because they have the momentum. And he's not going to move up to block Kyle Busch. I just feel like, yeah, Larson's not feeling like he wants to throw an aggressive block here and risk causing an accident and tearing up that race car. Man, Connor Daly has lost this lead draft once again. That 50 car is just struggling. Like, he can barely keep the draft for 5 laps. I'd say right now it's borderline going to take a miracle for him to make the show. Like right now, if I was Austin Hill, which I think he just did do this, if I was Austin Hill, I would just bail from this draft. I would just hang around at the back and not risk possibly getting caught up in an accident, because it seems like Connor Daly cannot even compete. Oh, it sounds like there's something broken on the 50, according to the booth, saying it's bouncing really bad. So, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm Connor. I'm really pissed off right now. I think, no, luckily, I think they're already planned that they'll attempt a couple more of the plate tracks. But yeah, I don't think this effort at Daytona is gonna work out, and I think a big factor in that is not having any practice before the actual race to try and work out some kinks. Anyways, Kyle Busch and Suarez have moved down to control this bottom lane. Now that leaves Ryan Preece leading the outside. He's got some Fords lined up behind him. Thanks to everybody watching so far. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it. Oh man, that Chipotle just tastes immaculate. Immaculate. And looks like they're slowly starting to work this thing single file so far. Brian Chastain, the 6 and the 41 are your picks. Well, yeah, I definitely think the Fords are going to have a shot. I mean, they've dominated all of the duels so far of the next-gen era. So, yeah, definitely cannot count out the Fords. Yeah, Connor Daly already 10 seconds out of the draft. And, yeah, he is running about 3 seconds off the pace of this lead, of the guys in the draft. So, at that rate, he'll go a lap down in about 20 laps. So, he's really going to need a caution to bail him out once again. Like, man, this sucks for Connor Daly. I just have to say that. I didn't really care about him getting in over Austin Hill. I actually kind of wanted Austin Hill to get in. And it sounds like that team just brought a terrible car for him. But I also just kind of want to blame NASCAR a little bit here, because they don't have practice. Like, he just has no opportunity to try and work out any kinks in that car, any issues in that car. And so, like, the fact that it's handling as bad as it is, like, he literally can't even stay in the draft off of just the raw speed of the car. I feel like that's something they could have figured out if they just had a 30-minute practice session. I also have another theory real quick. I have a feeling that the duels and kind of the Daytona 500 in general is really just going to come down to basically the only people that are going to be fielding open cars are, like, quote, celebrity drivers or, like, young guns. Nobody, like, in between. Like, you're not going to see, like, some journeyman driver, I feel like, trying to field open car anymore. Just because with the new charter era, the open cars, they really make no money unless they finish in the top 10, and the chance of you finishing in the top 10 of the Daytona 500, I mean, it's really almost luck at that point. So, yeah, I just think it's going to come down to somebody who just has enough money to, pay their way, basically, make sure that the team's not going to lose a bunch of money on an attempt to race their way in. So that's why I think it's just going to come down to a celebrity who has that money, or a young driver that's trying to get themselves a shot in the spotlight. Meanwhile, your lead draft has kind of gotten single file. And now it's the Chevrolets out front for the most part in this one. The Fords kind of been mired in the mid-pack. Man, it looks like Brad Keselowski pushing hard at Daytona is a theme once again this year. The draft is starting to get a little bit separated between 14th place Denny Hamlin and 15th place Tyler Reddick. There's now a gap of about 3/4 of a second. Those bottom 5 guys going to try and make sure that they stay in this lead draft. We got Kyle Busch, Suarez, Larson, your top 3. 23 laps complete. 36 laps to go. One caution so far in duel number 2 for Justin Haley's window flying out, or side window, not front window. And yeah, he was able to get that repaired though pretty quickly. Had to throw the caution for that big piece of debris though. And at the moment, 20 cars on the lead lap. BJ McLeod 1 lap down. Connor Daly has lost the lead draft. And Austin Hill currently holds that open car position, that final open car position. But with that caution at lap 9, it makes things interesting because field window just about 40 laps, 42 laps. Now you got that 9 laps tacked onto that, so you only got to go about 8 or 7 laps or so. And now if you can figure out a way to possibly save 8 or 7 laps of gas, I don't know. But those guys back in the pack, they're just hanging in the draft, kind of going half throttle. And they might be able to find a way to stretch it all the way. Now, if we get a caution, everybody will just come down and pit. But if not, it could be really interesting coming to the finish. Hold on one second. At Daytona. Got some rice. Got to move out of the way down here. Thanks everybody watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Closing in on 3,000 viewers on the evening. You know, we might catch the qualifying. Excuse me. We might catch the qualifying stream from last night, but it's going to be close. That stream's almost to 4,000. We're at 3,000 right now. Anyways. 21 race cars in this. 20 still on the lead lap. Soon to be 19. Connor Daly just fighting to stay on the lead lap right now. But it looks like his Daytona 500 dreams are going to come to an end here. But we can still get a caution. He could still get back on the lead lap through that. It's not over for him yet, but things are looking pretty bleak. Back in the pack, Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin trying to negotiate their way around some Fords, trying to dice things up to gain some track position. Similar to what we were seeing earlier in duel number 1. Who's willing to spice things up? Now Denny Hamlin trying to look for a way around. Who is that? Ryan Preece. And they're going to go to NASCAR nonstop. So 31 laps to go here now as they cross the line. It's still Busch, Suarez, Larson, Almirola. Nobody in that top 10 really looking to make a move right now. They're just kind of coasting their way. So far, though, that top 19 still all in that lead draft. But as these guys start to get racy in that bottom half of the draft, if somebody makes a move, if they get stuck side by side for too long, then they could separate this lead draft into 2 packs. Whew. I think we got 60 people watching right now. I appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're getting close to 70 likes on the evening. Excuse me. I don't know why that Chipotle is making me burpy. But here they come to put Connor Daly a lap down. Now, he's just got to hope that he can find a way to pop in this draft here, because if he's not able to get in this draft, then he's probably going to lose a second lap, and that would just about end his night for certain. He's also got to make sure, though, that he's ahead of BJ McLeod, so that way if there is a caution, he is the lucky dog. $29 to go. 29 to go. We're past halfway. Mark, you think Tyler Reddick made a mistake changing teams? I don't know, man. Even if RCR takes a step forward, I don't think that necessarily would have happened if Reddick was here this year, because I think Kyle Busch is going to help that team advance. You know, I would agree. I think Reddick moving over to that 45 is actually a pretty smart decision. It's either 23XI is going to continue to get better, or that possibly sets him up to maybe take over a seat that Martin Truex Jr. Or, you know, Denny Hamlin leave vacant at Joe Gibbs Racing possibly in the near future. I agree with you, Brian. I agree with you. Ryan Chastain, are you somehow related to Ross Chastain? Or is it just a coincidence? And, man, Connor Daly and BJ McLeod have both lost the lead draft again, so they're probably going to go 2 laps down here pretty soon. So, now as they come to 28 to go, unless we get a caution, things are looking really bleak for Connor Daly. Justin Haley sounds like they're pretty confident that they can make it to the end here if it goes green all the way. But he sounds like over the radio he's the only driver confident that they can make it if we go all the way. So this could definitely make things pretty interesting. Justin Haley did come down 1 lap later than everybody else to repair that window and top off. Dang, Brian. You should just start saying you are. Just start saying you are. I don't think nobody will doubt you. You got the same last name. At the back of the pack, some guys trying to dice things up. Yeah, currently it looks like Austin Hill is going to be locked into the Daytona 500 unless he has a mechanical failure or gets caught up in a crash here. Yeah, right now, Herbst, Briscoe, and Pastrana, those bottom 3, they're kind of battling, and they might lose the draft here if they're not careful. But everybody's playing it safe up inside the top 10. A couple guys further back, dicing it up like I'm saying. But so far, pretty calm, pretty calm. That first 10-lap run until we got that caution for debris, it was really dicey. And honestly, if we did not get that caution for debris, I had a feeling that we were probably going to go under caution for a bigger incident. Well, the first race was a story of Fords and Toyotas, and it seems like in this one, it's a story of Chevrolets. Now, there's still 26 laps to go, so maybe I just jinxed it. Mark, I am related. Morgan Freeman's my, he's like my grand uncle or something like that. Real story. Now, if you're talking about the Morgan Freeman, the actor, that's a different person. Anyways, now Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, and I think he's maybe got Ryan Preece in tow. That's Tyler Reddick in tow. So those three guys trying to make something happen on the outside, they just kind of worked their way by Ryan Preece, but Reddick got hung out to dry, and he's going to drop back to the tail end of the field. Oh, that's a tough break there. Yeah, it looks like Hamlin and Preece trying to find a way forward right now. Not content running back there in 10th and 11th. But now they're going to go back single file. Hopefully, though, they get racing side by side here once again. $24 to go. Right now, Denny Hamlin's got a bit of a run on Noah Gragson, and he's going to make a move to the outside of the number 42 Wendy's machine, and Justin Haley's going to go with him. Right now, Justin Haley is Denny Hamlin's best friend. They've picked off, I think, like 3 cars now, and they continue to work their way forward. Oh, but just as I say that, Hamlin leaves Haley out to dry, and Haley's going to drop all the way back down the running order. But yeah, Hamlin's worked his way from 16th up to 10th here, slowly making these passes, slowly picking them off. Hamlin, one of the best drivers to do it at Daytona, not just in the modern era, but in all of its history. And now he has caught up to his teammate Martin Truex Jr., so I'm interested to see if maybe Truex and Hamlin are going to pull out together and try and make some passes happen around the outside. Thanks to everybody watching so far. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Up to 3,250 subscribers. Hey, maybe we can get to 3,300 by the end of tomorrow night. Hopefully. Unless maybe there's some bots streaming the race again. Hopefully they're not, though. There's a bit of a gap starting to build, though, in between this field from Todd Gilliland. From Truex to Hamlin, the gap between 9th and 10th, there's about 3 car lengths there. That might just be Hamlin, though, trying to back up and get a run here. Yeah, we might catch the qualifying live stream from yesterday. This might end up being the biggest stream so far this season. It's going to be close. The gap right now, about 700 views. Probably going to be live for about another 20 minutes. It's going to be a close one. Yeah, Richard Petty has 7 Daytona 500 wins. I believe, right. That'd be more than anybody else, I'm pretty certain. I mean, is there anything that Richard Petty is not the king at in NASCAR's history? Oh, LaJoie's been shuffled down at this lead draft. Back to the tail end of the field. Oh, Suarez. It looks like he's thought about going to the outside of Kyle Busch. Right now, he's got that nose lined right up on the right rear corner panel of that 8 car. Giving him an amazing push right now. But back in the pack, things have gotten double file a couple rows deep. Yeah, right now, I think Suarez has got a bad, fast car. If he can make a jump to the outside, I think, and Larson goes with him. Oh! Kyle Busch is around off the nose of the 5. He spins in front of the field. Can everybody miss him? Somehow they do. A lot of guys going through the grass, but they crash behind him, and Austin Hill's involved. And Travis Pastrana. And Riley Herbst. Oh, my goodness. Austin Hill is involved. Could this end his playoff hopes, or his playoff hopes, Daytona 500 hopes? Kyle Busch already has the window net down. I was saying Suarez was pushing him. He was pushing him. And he's in the wall. So at the front of the field, Kyle Busch gets hooked off the nose of Daniel Suarez, head on into the outside wall. Not the hardest of hits, but spins in front of the field. He doesn't really collect anybody himself. Ryan Preece and Justin Haley go through the grass, but in the backfield, it looks like some guys run over each other trying to avoid him. It's Herbst, Pastrana, and Hill that all get involved. 3 wide, squishing in the outside wall. I think Herbst is going to be done. Kyle Busch already has his window net down. The 67 looked possibly okay. And the 62, I think, had the least damage of anybody involved. But that still might be enough to end his night. I think definitely a broken toe link I saw on the 15. Possibly a broken toe link on the 62. I mean, Kyle Busch nosed it in the outside wall. So that's kind of self-explanatory. Oh my goodness. This changes everything. And the free pass is going to be B.J. McLeod, I think. Yes, it will be. So Connor Daly will be 1 lap down. I mean, Austin Hill, I guess, could afford to possibly lose a lap here because he'd still be even with Connor Daly. Oh, boy, man. Kyle Busch had looked so strong leading up to this point, and they got to hope that backup car is just as good as the primary. Oh, boy, that means Kyle Busch, though, is going to be having to come from the back tomorrow night in the Daytona 5, or tomorrow night, on Sunday in the Daytona 500. But now this really shakes up your running order. It's going to be Suarez, Larson, Almirola, Cendric, Gill into your top 5, then Truex, Keselowski, Hamlin, Gregson, and Elliott, your top 10. Then Reddick, LaJoie, Haley, Briscoe, Preece, your top 15, McLeod, free pass, and then it looks like trying to figure out if any of these guys that are involved in that incident have gotten going according to the leaderboard. Oh my goodness, Connor Daly might just get a lucky break here. Really tough break for Austin Hill. He was my big underdog really circled for this weekend because of the success he'd had in the Xfinity Series last year. I thought he'd definitely have a shot if he made it into the big show, but it looks like he's not even going to get the opportunity. And I want to see kind of how that crash happened from the back, currently under commercial break, but I mean, I have a feeling, somebody just ran somebody else over. But that is devastating for Austin Hill's Daytona 500 hopes. So, yeah, Kyle Busch is already hooked up on the wrecker. So is Riley Herbst. And Austin Hill has come back to pit road. Trying to see if Hill's going to be able to recover from this one. Yeah, I said Suarez was pushing Kyle Busch like a monster. Hey, the Big Baller League, how are you doing? But yeah, I'd kind of seen. Yeah, and then in the back of the pack, trying to see. I mean, man, these guys. I mean, Keselowski, I don't know how he misses them. That is so close. Then in the back, oh, it looks like Pastrana just runs over Austin Hill. And that's what, yeah. So Pastrana runs into the back of Austin Hill, and Austin Hill gets hooked up across the racetrack into Riley Herbst. And everybody's coming down pit road right here. Oh, Suarez missed his pit stall. So that's going to cost him a lot of track position. Now they're just putting the gas in it. They were going to change tires. I have a feeling Kyle Busch might be dealing out some payback to Suarez. And Suarez is going to lose all his track position on pit road after missing his pit stall. So things might have just gone from bad to worse. He might have just possibly made Kyle Busch his enemy. And then he also he just totally missed his pit stall. Just missed it. the race off of pit road, we'll see who it was won by. I didn't quite pick it up. Oh boy, Austin Hill, they've got it back out on the track, but I'm not sure if that 62 car is going to be able to make it. Yeah, Travis Pastrana just runs over the back of the 62. These other guys, they get on the brakes in front of him. Pastrana can't totally see what's happening. And then somehow Briscoe makes it through it all. Yeah, Pastrana, I think, is done. Or I don't know. I'm trying to see it. Maybe Pastrana's still out there. No, Pastrana is done, but he's already locked in, so he doesn't have to worry. Herbst and Kyle Busch also done. So Hill is 2 laps down. Daly is 1 lap down. And yeah, now I'd say it's the opposite. Now Hill is gonna need a miracle to beat out Daly. So Larson, I believe, won the race off of pit road. Then Briscoe second. Almirola, Cendric, Truex, Reddick, and Priest your top 10. Then Haley, Keselowski, Gilliland, LaJoy, Suarez, McLeod, your top 16 cars. They're all still in the lap. Your top 10 will get points. Mark, I know there's some technical difficulties. I'm not sure why this is happening. Hopefully we can get it sorted out, though, by tomorrow. There's nothing I can really do about it right now. It's beyond my control. Thanks to everybody tuning in, though. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. We got 75 people watching right now. Trying to get to 3,300 subscribers. We are halfway there. Currently at 3,250. We already hit our goal for the night. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers for Kevin Harvick. Almost to 3,300 viewers on the evening, guys. I appreciate it. If we get a couple more cautions, we might catch the qualifying stream, but I have a feeling we're probably going to end up coming up short about 3,500. The qualifying stream's at about 3,900 right now. Still, though, this will be the second biggest stream so far this season. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night for the Truck Series race. Hold on one moment. Oh. I thought they were transferring coverage of the duels there. Yeah, they got coverage on this race till 10 o'clock. The first race ended in literally like an hour, a little less. This race probably going to last a bit longer than that. Already with 2 cautions when the last one had none. No, you're good. You're good, Mark. I know Mark Gregson quietly up to 6th place. I think things could get interesting. I don't know if we're going to see another crash. Oh, it looks like I think Austin Hill's also called it quits. He's now 4 laps down. Yeah, I have a feeling Austin Hill is done, which would lock Connor Daly in. So we're going to put up a new poll in the chat. Who wins Duel 2? So since Hill is out of this race, that means Connor Daly is in. Even though he's had many struggles so far tonight, it seems like things are just going to end up working out by some miracle almost for Connor Daly to find a way into the Daytona 500. Oh, now they're interviewing Kyle Busch. I'm interested to see what he has to say about that incident. Interested to see what Kyle Busch has to say. So, yeah, Kyle Busch is like, yeah, the guy's got a lot of work to do now, try and repair that car, but it's part of it. Yeah, he is pissed off. He doesn't say anything about Suarez because I think it's just kind of part of plate racing, I would say, kind of. And I have to imagine somewhere in Busch's mind, he's got that 99 car circled. Green flag back in the air. Larson on the outside, Almirola on the inside. We've seen this restart 3 times tonight. And this time it looks like it's going to work out for Larson. Austin Cindric giving him a great push on that outside line. Neither line is really formed up, though, right here on this restart. Now Keselowski giving a good push to Almirola through the middle of the turn. Now the field's starting to bunch up a bit more as they go down the back straightaway. Almirola, though, is clear of the 5 car, so he could maybe slide up and make a block if he wanted to. Oh, my goodness. Almirola gets really sideways there. Keselowski and him both go below the double yellow. They have to bail out of the gas. Oh, my goodness. Things almost got messy once again. He's going to have to settle for leading that top line. Now Keselowski goes to push Larson, and Larson will stay in the lead here with 13 to go. This lead draft has been narrowed down after the issues of the last incident. Thanks to everybody watching right now. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, boy, down the back straightaway. I'm just so nervous now. Keselowski's pushing Larson, and Larson gets pretty swirly. Oh, he's getting swirly again. Yeah, I'm just saying right now, they've ended up in the wall, so I am super nervous right now. But I feel like at this point, Larson's you kind of made your bed. You got to just sleep in it. And I think Larson should just, with 12 to go, I mean, you could bail out, but I think you have the track position right now. Just stay up here. Stay in the mix. You'll get an 8 points, 9 points. Head on to Sunday. This inside line, though, is starting to build in numbers. A lot of guys bailed on the outside. It's going to be hard for that outside to develop a run right now. One driver that's been really quiet, really, this entire duel has been Chase Elliott, man. He has hardly even cracked the top 10, let alone the top 5. Price, what happened to Busch? There was an incident going down the back straightaway. Suarez was pushing Busch, who was leading, and just a big run, and Busch just got hooked into the outside wall, and then some guys back in the pack wrecked trying to avoid him, and that took out Austin Hill, Travis Pastrana, and Riley Herbst. 10 to go. Almirola still leads. Cindric leads the outside line. Larson's the second car on the inside line. Only 14 cars in this lead draft, but they're side by side, 7 rows deep. Oh, my God. Oh, a shot there from Gilliland to Austin Cindric. Oh, my goodness, man. These guys are running. We might see another incident here. Larson, he almost got hooked off the nose of the 6 car just a moment ago. Austin Cindric, though, with a big run from Todd Gilliland on the outside. Austin Cindric is clear to the lead as they go into turns 3 and 4. Not able to slide down to block Almirola, though. And that outside line moving forward right here. Oh, LaJoie got swirly there for a moment off of turn 4. Able to keep it together. Almirola, led that lap at the line by maybe an inch. Travis Pastrana, though, getting interviewed now. Almirola, yeah, Travis was trying to say it's a good learning experience. I actually think they might be able to use that same car on Sunday. Oh my gosh, they are just darting all over the place. Truex and Keselowski moving up. Oh my gosh, Pastrana, you can just see how much of a noob he is in this. Like, he's just trying his best. Like, he's like, you in his interview, he's like, you don't realize on TV that you can only see like about 10 feet in front of you when you're racing in the pack. And it's like, he's like, I don't know where the turns are. I just look for the big yellow Sunoco sign and then I turn left right about there. Now they're coming to 6 to go. The time is starting to run out here. Almirola continues to lead that inside line, starting to edge further and further ahead. But these guys are racing hard right now. They are racing hard. Cindric not giving up on that outside line. Oh, Larson gives a push to the back of the 10 there. I just feel like every single big run that develops, I'm scared that they're about to all pile it up. After what we just saw with Suarez and Kyle Busch. Speaking of Suarez, he had that bad pit stop, and he has not really been able to make up any ground on this leading duo, or on this leading pack. He's still back in 9th place. Also, for what it's worth, a couple of guys have decided that it was a bit too racy up in this lead draft, and they have decided to save their cars for Sunday. This lead draft now only has about 12 cars in it. Reddick and Haley and Briscoe all bailed on this lead draft. 5 to go, though. 5 to go as they go down the back straightaway. Austin Cindric on the outside. Eric Almirola still on the inside. They are dead even. I mean, it's just 6 by 6, or, well, 2 by 2, 6 rows deep. As they come into the trial, 4 laps to go in duel number 2 at Daytona. Cindric's going to lead this lap at the line, that outside line. Getting some good momentum right here. How is the inside gonna rebuild? I think Priest bailed on that inside line, and that really hurt their momentum. Now they're down to 4 cars versus the outside 7. Yeah, I don't think this inside line's going to be able to survive for much longer. They're staying neck and neck with Gilliland, who's the second car in line. Yeah, now they're really fading back here with 4 to go. Man, Gilliland shoved Cindric way out there. These guys are going to have a big run on him. Cindric's able to stay down low, though, and kind of corral the run that's coming from down there and not get overrun. But on the outside, Corey LaJoie is leading, and Chase Elliott is pushing him. I had said Chase Elliott hadn't done much, but here we are with 3 to go, and he's found himself all the way up to 5th place. I think we are definitely going to see some wrecks on Sunday due to some bad blocks, but here we are. 2 laps to go. Almirola, I think he can move up and block that outside line, probably get a good run there, and maybe get around Gilliland that way. Oh, it's going to be close here. Down the back straightaway, both lines are a bit discombobulated, so there aren't really many big runs developing right now. And Almirola is going to dart to the outside of Gilliland as they come into the trial. A white flag in the air. Larson gives a shot to the back of the 38, but Almirola is going to have the advantage at the line. They are dead even across the stripe. Noah Gragson has bailed on this lead draft. It's down to just 10 cars. Oh boy, that 38 car got really swirly there. Brad Keselowski is pushing Kyle Larson hard. Oh, and the 38 almost around. Oh my goodness. He's just able to corral it. Somehow they saved it. Anyways, Almirola out to the front, then Cendric second, Corey LaJoie in third. And I don't think they're going to have a big enough of a run to make anything happen here. Yeah, and here they come into the trial for the final time. Eric Almirola is going to win duel number 2 at Daytona. Then Cendric second, Elliott third, Keselowski fourth, LaJoie fifth, Larson sixth, Gilliland seventh, and eighth, Truex ninth, Hamlin, and Priest gets that final point in 10th. And Connor Daly races his way in. Oh my goodness. I thought Gilliland was about to crash in front of the whole field there. I think on Sunday, so far from what I've seen, is these cars are all over the place, man. They do not handle very well. They're all over the place. So I think, yeah, I think it's going to be hard to throw big blocks on Sunday. Like, these cars, they just do not look nimble. I think we're going to see a couple incidents due to bad blocks on Sunday. I also think we're going to see a couple incidents due to big pushes on Sunday. I mean, we saw that, partially, Kyle Busch won because Suarez just gave him a huge run, and then Gilliland almost crashed because Keselowski was shoving so hard. Larson almost racked it like 3 times off the nose of Keselowski. Oh, my goodness, yeah. As they came out of the trial into turn 1, Keselowski was all over the 5, which shoved him right into the back of the 38, and just almost sent the 38 car around. He was sliding on the apron, but was able to corral it. And thanks to everybody watching. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Woo! This stream is going to be the second biggest stream so far this season, just over 3,500 viewers. Appreciate